Hello again everyone, welcome back. Today we're talking about currency, specifically passive trees for the atlas that you can use to increase the amount of currency that you're earning with every single map. I have 3 different strategies that I want to share with all of you that I've personally tested and can attest to how easily they can provide you with currency using different methods. Without any further ado, let's have a look at those. So let's have a look at the passive trees that I got for you today. The first one that I've got here is a Breach and Legion setup that I used at League-Start. This focuses primarily on Breach itself as the big money maker, and you can actually pair it very well with Harvest if you don't want to focus on Legion. Legion is here to give us some extra currency throughout the map, but also if you get lucky in the different 4 ways, 3 ways that the Legion provides, you can get some very expensive timeless jewels and make like a big profit off of those. And obviously if your build needs a timeless jewel, you can just farm it using this. Breach itself is very profitable. Each one of the breach stones costs at a minimum 10C, and the Chayula one goes up all the way to 100C. And you can farm these very quickly in high density maps using all of these nodes. As you can see here, we take all of the breach wheels except this one, which has the Shastula, which essentially is every breach type and can drop every splinter. Doesn't really matter, we don't care about that. We really want to focus on Chayula and if possible Ulnatul. And yeah, just focus on those 2. And if you have Harvest, which pairs very well with this, you can come here and reroll whichever you don't want splinters or bridgestones into something else that you might want. So that is very good and can allow you to make a big profit off of Breach. Legion is here to add more monsters to your map, to add more rewards. We have all the Sergeant stuff, and we also have a guaranteed Warhorde in every single one of them. So you end up getting a lot of bubblegum currency from Legion itself, which is very nice. And using this at the start of the league as I did is a very easy way to make a lot of cheap currency. Also on top of that, I opted to go with Shrine for just making mapping very easy, very comfortable, and also go with Scarabs. I think Scarabs are one of the best methods of making currency right now in a very passive method, and I'm absolutely adding Scarabs when possible to every single tree that I do. Here we got the second tree that I want to talk about. Firstly, this is called boss rushing, but really it's more boss farming than rushing, not specifically rushing to the boss. So let's have a look at it. First, we start by going through the shrines because we don't care about anything here at the beginning. And I opted to come down here and block all of these 4 nodes because I want to block not only the mechanics, but the chance to get scarabs for any of these mechanics. We opt to not block ultimatum here because there's a specific scarab for ultimatum that is worth a few hundred chaos that I want to have if possible. After that, it's just a matter of taking all of the scarab nodes along the way. I always opt to take Shaping of the Mountains, Shaping of the Skies, because all of these give you a lot of higher maps and makes it easier to sustain your mapping. When going for Shaping of the Skies, always come here to Significant Troves, and this is very important. We want this node specifically. Unique monsters in your maps have 200% increased chance to drop scarabs. This is important because we are pathing all the way up here and we're focusing specifically on farming bosses. Now, going to Destructive Play in the Maven Wheel allows us to summon up to 3 additional Atlas bosses when witnessing map bosses. This is very important because all of these are going to have the modifiers to the final boss apply to them, which includes this node here. So you are going to be dropping a lot more scarabs using this method, and all of those through our scarab nodes here and here are going to be more likely to be rarer qualities, and the final boss in each map has 25% chance to drop an additional scarab. So you're going to be dropping a lot of these very easily. if you want to take that a step further, you can actually spec into thorough exploration, and if your map has less than 50 monsters remaining, then all of these bosses are going to be empowered by Wilderwood Wisps. Now, do that at your own risk. Wilderwood will make them very tanky and very deadly, so test it out to see if your build can handle it. If not, I would go with not putting this point in and just play it safe, and this on its own is going to make you a lot of currency anyway. So there's no need to do anything with that if you don't want to. Other than that, I do pat to increased chance of ambush scarabs. Ambush scarabs specifically are making a fortune right now. Just the base one sells for over 10C. So very, very profitable to get these. And yeah, it's just a matter of taking all of the bossing nodes at the top here to get all of these maps, because all of these maps, if we come here and have a look, you can see you're going to drop a lot of them. I've ran a bunch of these. I have already ran more than one of each of the Conquerors, more than one of each Shaper and Elder. So you get a ton of these, and all of these sell for a very high amount of chaos. Each sells for 10 to 20C. The Shaper ones are a little bit cheaper than that, but overall they all sell for a decent amount. And if you want instead, you can just run them to get the bosses yourself. So this tree, very, 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 very good if you just want to get a bunch of scarabs and a bunch of boss maps. Now for the final tree of today, I have for you what I'm calling tier 6 essence farming. I'm sure if you've been on Reddit for a while, you've seen this, so let's talk about it. Essentially, this is a tree that focuses on both essence, scarabs where possible, and a harvest specifically. So we start by taking the initial essence node, and then we pat to each one of the blocking wheels. Pat whichever way you want to do that, but we want to block everything except Sacred Grove, because this is going to increase how many scarabs we get for Sacred Grove and for other things that we're looking for. Also, we pat here to Call of the Grove to get the chance to get that, and you, through the usage of this tree, you'll get more than 100% chance of getting Grove, meaning every map that you do, you're going to get it. After that, you want to pat to all of the essence nodes in the tree and take every single one of them except the top one here in Crystal Resonance. You can try this at your own peril. Essentially what this does is every essence that you open will add a modifier, an essence modifier, to your map boss, and then the map boss is going to drop a bunch of essences. This makes the bosses of every map that you do very, very strong, very tanky, even in tier 6 and 7, and incredibly strong and incredibly deadly, but very rewarding. So give it a try, but I opted to not do this, and I use this tree to run over 100 essence maps at tier 6 and 7, and I'll have a video on that very, very soon. So if you want to check that out, subscribe to the channel to not miss out. But this is incredibly profit. You can make a massive, massive amount of currency in tier 6 and 7 just farming deafening essences and doing this. So do not miss out on this tree. This is incredibly powerful. All you want is all the harvest nodes in here, the ones in here in this wheel to double the amount of life blood that you get, the chance here, and you can go all the way here and get a higher chance for tier 3 and tier 4. Tier 4 doesn't really matter because you're doing this more than likely in yellow maps, so you can't really spawn at tier 4, but 10% chance to the crop knot wield is very, very nice. Why this though? Well, you want to pair harvest with essence because you can use the horticrafting station to swap the cheap essences into ones that sell much, much better. So you want to prioritize blue juice, primal, crystalline, life force when possible. So always look for blue life force before anything else. And yeah, this tree is amazing. You really, really want to try this out for yourself if you haven't already, and this will give you many divine just doing this farm in like low yellow maps. And we do it in yellow maps because to the usage of a set of scarabs very specific that I will talk in the video that is to come about this strategy. To the usage of a very specific set of scarabs, you can guarantee to get a single deafening essence in each essence that is in your map, allowing you to very easily farm deafening essences in tier 6 and 7s, starting in yellows essentially. So very, very, very good tree for essence farming, and you can then come here to Faustus and sell all of those here. So very, very, very good. And yeah, this is the final tree that I've got for you today. If you found this video helpful, consider subscribing to the channel, as I'm trying to get monetized, and that will help me out a lot. Other than that, that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you all later. Bye bye.